So here's what we did today. So before I pan across, I'll show you. Eventual plan is this whole area to that fence to direct seed a Three Sisters garden. So corn and beans and squash, I think, are the Three Sisters that can be planted together. And then this little pie cut out here is gonna be like giant sunflowers. We have to dig our internet cord a little deeper. Thank God during this time we did not mess it up. Had to do a little repair, but it's still working. This little nasty piece of fence is eventually gonna go away. And then we've got, for this summer, our little fun experiment. We're gonna do some straw bale gardening. Thank you to our friends Whitney and Tyler, the ones that got us started with this idea. They did this before, so we're trying it out for the summer, and then eventually this area is going to be raised beds with like galvanized steel and some cedar or something treated so that they last for a long time. And then this mess area right now, a bunch of drip tubing, but gonna tear the sod to right where that drip tubing is. It's already, the sod is already cut, and then this is gonna be low like galvanized tubs for perennials, like vegetable perennials like asparagus and I think rhubarb. And then we've got our little temporary wood square where we have a tough shed on order. So we are gonna hopefully get that approved by our HOA to have a nice little garden shed back here. And then gonna build out some nice little kidney bean shapes on either side for some like butterfly garden area. And then eventual plan, of course, not all this is happening this summer, but eventual plan in this area, kind of behind the shed and up to there and whatever, is going to be a bunch of fruit trees. So you want to do like apples and pear and what else? Peaches. So that's what we're doing there. And then if we come up here today, well, we had already used a sod cutter, so this whole bed will be cleaned up to the house there, and that's going to be a big perennial garden with some lattice, some privacy lattice, and then plant some vines and things, like maybe some trumpet vines, maybe some clematis. Today we did this. This was just a big mud pit. We are eventually getting this portion of the fence replaced. This is our fence. We are new fence people, so we did not know about that. But yeah, so this was a big mud pit. So we recycled the sod we dug up and put it here. And then the fence is going to actually move. This is our chimney, but does not go all the way to the ground. And our dog, Benny, can sneak out underneath. So we have a pile of wood here at the moment, but the fence is going to move to the other side of the chimney, and then you'll see some of you might have already seen that project. So my daylilies and hostas are looking awesome. And then this was a big mud pit area here as well. So we did sod all here. When the fence moves, we will have to, fill in some areas, but I don't think that'll be too big of a deal. So yeah, this will be a huge, basically from the house all the way out to where it kind of curves around and then back into the patio. will be a huge perennial garden, and then lattice kind of all the way to where it kind of curves. We're not going to go all the way around because we don't want to block off the view that way, but just to kind of shield, since we have a short fence on that one side, give us some privacy. And then, so believe it or not, the grass was here, and then the entire patio has this strip of dirt around it, which we think is just ugly. It's horrible for the dogs. So this whole area right here, where there's kind of the shape, the diagonal line, we just did sod there today as well. This will be a little perennial flower garden with our little pond from the old house. So we love that little pond, so I think it's a perfect little spot in there. We'll reposition it, but this one maybe is going to have some hibiscus, hardy hibiscus, some grasses, some coneflowers, some blanket flowers, some salvia, and then this area as well, the shape got redefined, so that this whole area is going to be a nice perennial garden, going to mimic our plans for the front. I'll show you that another day because we haven't really done much work up there other than digging up dead bushes, but that's what's happening there. And then this whole section of fence is ours as well, and we're wanting to push that forward basically to right before the meter, so we'll have this whole area of dead space fenced in, and then this whole line along the neighbor's fence is hopefully going to be our berry patch. So we want to do some strawberries, some blueberries, some raspberries, and then with the fence moving to the other side, we'll see maybe even do some grapevine on the other side of the fence. This whole bed that the sod is cut out, so it will meet up with this one, but you can see that platform there. Matt, we moved that SOB from the old house for all of our rain barrels because the downspout is right here. We'll get rid of this nasty ass satellite dish that we don't use and just looks awful and is not even nicely secured to the house. So yeah, this whole bed, actually this area gets a ton of sun, so it'll we'll remove all this sod or whatever. Basically from the window well over is going to be that platform, but then that way to the gas meter is going to be a bunch of cannas, so a bunch of tropical plants. So we did this in the last house where they are bulbs and they are supposed to be dug up every year, but when we did them at the old house, we planted them against the foundation, and that seemed to actually help them, and we didn't have to ever dig them up, and they were fine. So these things get really tall and they're tropical looking and they're beautiful. And then in front of that, since this is probably about a 5-foot bed, I think we had planned to do some peonies, and then probably maybe something in front of that as well to fill out the space. But we're basically going to just pack that area with cannas, and they are so fun and they get really super tall. They probably won't this year, but year after year when they come back they'll get really tall and they're just really fun looking. And then hopefully our berry patch over here looks great. So lots to do. Definitely probably not going to happen all this summer, but I know some of you, I have done Facebook Lives before in the past with our garden. So basically this house, we've pretty much got a blank slate. So the areas here that are all we cultivated, but they'll definitely need to be worked a little bit more with our sorry, that was our sump. they'll need to be cultivated a little bit more with a larger machine or tiller that is currently fixed at the moment, but we're hoping maybe to finish this little area, maybe even this area. The larger perennial garden, I don't know if we're necessarily gonna fully get to this year, but there was just a lot of dead bushes and things in here, so we just basically cleaned it up. We're starting from scratch, and gosh, I didn't even talk about the pool. That's a conversation for another day. So thanks for watching. We've got a lot to do, and this whole mess, you can see some rain barrels there, but yeah, the tarp thing is the pool stairs and the fence and stuff we got to take care of, and so there is a lot to do. But hey, of all times, being stuck at home, as long as the weather stays nice, we have been busy with this all day. So yeah, I'll keep posting updates. Thanks for watching.